it's nice to be here with you guys, Spliced. I actually have little knowledge about your band, and I'm very excited that I found out about your band about 2 weeks ago, wholeheartedly. We had a giant conversation about you guys in the Roadhounds camp, and I dove into your music, and I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And I was so stoked on how heavy you guys were. Because I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? You see, and I feel like I'm one of those people that, you don't judge a book by its cover. I did, and I like that I did, because it opened a very nice thing of, I was like, man, this band's heavy as fuck. I actually wanted to ask you guys if it would be okay if I can potentially use one of your songs as an alternative intro for my show.
Absolutely. Go for it. Please.
Hey,
absolutely.
That's fucking cool. Your band is great.
Thank you so much. Seriously.
Hey, I'm going to comment on it because we're here. We're doing an interview. I am now an old man, as I am 34 years old now.
We talking about you're barely 24, Josh.
I'm 30, Josh. I understand.
I see a picture of me on the
wall. Can you get it? Is it pins?
Yeah, they're
pins. I see it very, very well, and I was like,
with signatures.
I was a baby. I was a child. I remember making those posters and those flyers, especially the one on the bottom, is so old. And I might have a couple of them, but holy shit, that brings back so many memories and so many great memories. And I'm stoked. Are you guys influenced by Motionless at all?
Oh, absolutely.
So I discovered y'all back in 2011, and Motionless has been my favorite band ever since. The way y'all changed my life as far as how I dress and my appearance and my music, and y'all just been a huge inspiration for me, just all around. So yes, huge fans.
In my opinion, y'all were everyone was doing the whole attack, asking stuff. Y'all were still doing that show breakdown, but you added your own thing to it. And I really feel Creatures, right?
Creatures was amazing.
That was like my high school anthem, man. I played that almost every day through freshman high school.
How old are you guys?
30.
I'm 26. I'm 28, about to be 29 next month.
Hey, we're old.
Yeah.
Hey, it makes me feel weird because I'm also old, and we
right.
I'm growing.
We have levels of oldness.
It's crazy to see. I know people that are doctors that were Motionless fans, and I'm like, how did that happen? They're like, well, we started listening to you when we were 15, and now it's been 15 years, and I'm like, motherfucker. I was like, but honestly, I think your music is sick. I mean, but here's the thing: is there's not too much of it out there. Why?
Well, would you like the long version or the short version?
I want a middle of the road version.
All right, you got it. So basically, Spliced started initially with me. I just got out of the band. I had wrote about 6-7 songs, and then I went back to Georgia. I was living in Florida at the time, and I found a couple of guys, and we started trying to put them out together. We ran into so many money roadblocks. Half of our band quit just out of the blue. It was personal reasons. We're still Gucci with them, but it just set us back for so long. We had to take an entire year to just recoup because we don't have doctor jobs, we're working, paying bill to bill. It's hard, man, because it's especially we are very self-sufficient when it comes to making video content ourselves, making photo content ourselves. I know how to run social media ads correctly, and I know how much that costs and how much it takes to do it right. It's not $1 million, but it does take
it's
stuff.
Expensive.
You know what I mean?
It's expensive. Everything's expensive.
Yeah, most definitely. So it's we have, and because we're cool saying this because we're about to announce this in a couple days, but we have a whole album just ready to go. It's already recorded. All the songs are done, mixed, mastered for a year, but it's just putting the release time out right because of everything that happened.
come join us while we do a bunch of live stuff inside the metaverse, from live shows to live events. Honestly, we're going to be doing a bunch of stores inside the metaverse too, so make sure you subscribe now.
How are you guys gonna release your album? I mean, are you guys gonna do the single a month or the single every couple of weeks? I've seen so many different, and I manage a couple bands, and I was in bands and stuff like that, trying to figure out the formula of what the fuck to do is outrageous. Do you split your full album up into two sections? Do you release one single at a time? What are your guys' stance on like singles versus album versus just hurling yourself off a bridge?
Right. So I prefer the hurling yourself off the bridge. That's probably the best way to do it. So my opinion is I don't think there's one answer. I think it's super duper dependent on the artist themselves. Because like, say you're like a solo, like, I don't know, like hyper pop artist, like you can release a song a week and never play a show until you're like that popular, right? Or say you're a band like us that like a lot of our stuff is built on our live show. We're a very heavy band. We have we like having live footage, people going fucking nuts, hitting each other in the face. You know, a lot of that's built around the live show. So I think it's really dependent on where, like, what kind of artist you are. For us, I like the combo of both, where you're releasing a single a month, but you're releasing maybe half, maybe a little less than half of the album. And then you're using the hype that you've garnered from those singles if you ran ads and retargeted and all that stuff, right? Right, and lead into it.
I think that's the vibe, and I like that for especially if you DIY bands and stuff like that. And it is really tough. And I talk to bands about playlisting. I talk to them about labels, support, and it's really tough. Like I'm doing this new show with Roadhounds called Headbangers Havoc. This is our new platform where we're trying to, but our big focus is unsigned artists and trying to figure out. We had a giant meeting 2 days ago. Like, how do we as a company at Roadhounds help facilitate? Because I think about it this way. If I can make your band have 1 million listeners a month on Spotify or wherever, then you'd be like, oh, cool. These guys helped me get to here. We'll help facilitate. It's almost like, it's just all together. Everybody's working together. And that's kind of what we want to do, is we want to try to figure out how to cultivate these next headliners, and try to figure out, there's nobody. Think about it. Like, there's like 5 bands in the last 5 years that have been like becoming headliner status that can take over your Avenged Sevenfold, your Slipknots. If you think about it, it's Motionless, Ice Nine Kills, Bad Omens, maybe Beartooth is creeping in that world. There's a Ghost is kind of made their world up there and as well, but there's nothing, and it's terrifying for these festivals and these people that are booking these big shows.
Honestly, and I have an opinion on that. Like, I think there's a pretty good reason for it. We as just like, let's talk about metal as like whole, right? Just fuck subgenres for a second. There are so many closed-minded people that are not okay with expanding and like going different places with it. Everyone wants to do what Bring Me does, or everyone wants to do what Motionless does, or like this band does, and just pick that one band, right? And try to build their entire image. You're not building a brand that someone wants to follow like that. You're just copycatting, because why would someone follow you if there's already the original out there? They just listen to them.
You're getting in line is what you're saying, instead of getting into that. I mean, there's that age-old question is of like those the two lines. One is a super packed line. It's just the easy, like, get at it, like, this is gonna be exactly what you want it to be, but this is the one that's like a lot harder work for the when one person is going down. So I understand that, and I love that bands are still willing to put in those time and money and effort and things like that. And we've been trying to figure it out on our side too. It's everyone thinks there's a formula to it and how to succeed as a band, but there's no formula. When I toured for 5 years to 6 people in the room. And we were just passionate about it. And then one person walked by one day and changed our life. And everyone's like, I want 5,000 people at my show. I said, no, you want the right person at your show, or the right people at your show. And it's super important. And I love that. And I honestly do really like your music. And I'm a new fan of your band. And I think it definitely has that vibe of I can see that at a festival playing in front of 50,000 people because it's cool as fuck. And I hope
God,
I,
it'd be
I
so
hope your
fun.
new music is like that as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We try to keep it heavy and weird, man. That's what we try to do.
But the
love
cool
that.
thing is, like, we're also like, here's a cool thing. We're heavy as balls, right? My favorite band's Bring the Horizon.
Love Bring Me.
I love the fact that every album, they've done something different. I want to keep the heavy vibe with Splice, but I also want to experiment with Splice too. But at the same time, I want to do both. I don't want to go like, I don't want to have limits with what we're
If you're
doing.
not getting weird, you can go fuck off, you know?
Go to roadhounds.io and come hang out with me in the metaverse, while we watch live shows, we go through stores, maybe we'll give away some guitars, some drums, maybe some free root beer. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want, we're going to give it away. Go to roadhounds.io and subscribe now. Come hang out with me.
How many members are in your band? Is it just the three of you guys?
The three of us.
Who
For
does-
this time right now.
Who does what and what's that like being a three-piece as a heavy band?
I'm the guitarist.
I'm Trip. I play the drums.
And then I do all the vocals, and then I handle a lot of like the production as well.
So are you guys backtracking bass and stuff, or you just haven't
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys looking? Are you guys like
We are.
fuck it? Well, I was gonna say fuck it. Are you just backtracking stuff, or are you trying to look for a bass player?
We are actively looking for a bass player, but out here in Atlanta, everyone wants to be a guitar player or a vocalist.
Yeah.
So bass players are hard to find.
Hey, listen, keyboard players are where it's at. Let's be real.
Yeah,
There you go.
No,
I wouldn't mind having a keyboard player.
No, dude, I'm telling you, we have Ableton, because we all use Ableton and stuff, right?
Nice.
Like fucking, dude, you just fucking make the basses the keyboard. You should play all the fucking stuff that's on the keyboard. Like fuck it.
That's true. Honestly, I mean, it's with a heavy band, it's tough to. So unless you're going live and you're doing separate tracks for for the sound guy to be like, all right, you're giving them a bass track, you're giving them a vocal track, you're giving them a all your sounds, all your synths, all this shit. Like that's really tough. If you're giving them just like one signal and just being like, just turn this up, it gets really difficult. So
Yeah, it does.
having a bass player is clutch, and it's as much as I say it because bass players suck. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's so. Have you guys been playing a ton of shows? You holding back? What's the sitch?
Absolutely. So we've been playing a lot of shows around the local area. We took like a year. We're just coming back now. We played how many shows?
6, 7.
See, we came back in July with the Star Bar show, and since then, in July, we played 6 or 7 shows.
Yeah.
We played 2 or 3 festivals. We actually have another show in Macon coming up in 2 weeks, and then next month we're playing Macon Fest down in Macon.
So yeah,
So 3 fests in 1 year.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. I mean, that's great to see bands, and that's what I always tell people. They're like, how do we get our name out there? I was like, play fucking shows. They're like, well, there's only 6 people coming. I was like, well, 6 people will turn
those
12
people
people.
will know you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that turns into 12 people, and building that core fan base, as you guys I can see are going to be. I interviewed a band the other day, it seems like my vibe is obviously like I told Roadhounds I want to fuck with bands that are my style, like the goth kids, the weirdos, the freaks. So I've been interviewing and talking about like building cult fan bases, and I think that's really, really important. As for myself, I mean, I quit Motionless 5 fucking years ago, and it's still a giant piece of my life that I don't chase it down either. It's just a part. Like I'm doing Shiprocked like in February, and I was like, why do you want me to do it? And they're like, well, you a lot of people suggested for you, and I'm like, why? And they're like, we don't fucking know, which I don't even know. But I thought that was cool for me to be like a stowaway, and based on like just a fan base that still has been supporting me since 2006, and now it's 2023. Fuck, that's crazy.
Don't remind
You
me.
don't have to say that.
Hey, don't feel bad. I was at Louder Than Life this year, and I came and watched your set just because of you.
Dang.
How terrible was it?
Actually, y'all did an amazing job.
That was
Amazing
That was
job.
my first time on stage in 5 years or something like
Really?
that. I was terrified. And so if anybody's watching this interview, I actually had all of the lyrics printed out and taped to the deck. And if you saw me trying to like look down and like be creepy, it's because I was forgetting the lyrics.
Yeah, I see you trying to look down and be creepy a lot.
I was like,
I love how you worded and just being creepy, like, oh yeah, people just think that. That's cool. That's what
it was wonderful. But it was great to be back on stage again. You know, there's nothing that I'm sure you guys understand that there's nothing like being on stage and having one person you know, sing your words to you or just be excited to be there.
Sure.
There's nothing. I was chasing it for like I had an identity crisis after I left, and I was trying to figure out how to chase that feeling. It's impossible. It's very impossible, and that's why I got back into music, because music is wonderful. And seeing bands like yourself, and honestly, it's I'm super proud of bands like you guys. Like, you have my picture on your fucking wall behind you, and you're carrying on a legacy that not too many people are giving a fuck about. Everyone wants to be, you know, go down a road of radio or pop or rock or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that you guys are like gritty and dirty and want to put in the fucking work, which is so difficult.
That's what it takes. And I think it's just all three of us genuinely love what we're doing. You know what I mean? And that's what you have to, or you'll burn out.
Yeah.
You guys don't hate each other yet?
No, absolutely not.
I just hate myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I agree with that.
When I started this, because I started the band with all the songs, like I'd been in bands for years and years, and I always concentrated on like, okay, I gotta find a guitarist that's good. I gotta find a drummer that's good. This band, the songs are easy, man. They're not hard to play, but they're fun. They're fun songs. And I focus more on, I want to find people who are just genuinely cool people. Like, they just have to be all right at their instrument, because the songs aren't hard, but they have to be cool as fuck people. And that was the main focus. And I wanted people.
You're a smart man. You're a smart man. Because building people around you that have the right energy is way more important than people that are knowledgeable, that are asshats. I'll tell you that.
It is so hard to teach an asshole to not be an asshole. Fuck.
It's almost impossible, bro.
So
Ego.
So I want to touch back on Roadhounds, because they've given me such a wonderful platform and they're taking care of me. And we're trying to figure out, you know, what is important to unsigned artists right now? Like, what is something that I can, you know, on a grand scope of things, what are important things to bands like your guys is that, you know, want to take those next steps going forward? Like, what's something that we can potentially offer some unsigned artists?
So I think outside of actually giving an artist something, like let's talk about something that's very just easy to do, which is just advice, words coming out of your mouth, right? If you have any sort of ego, lose it right now, because you will fail. No one knows who you are when you're first starting out. No one cares. Build your name and make people care, and be humble about it. And, you know, just be a genuine good person. Like, don't be an asshole. Don't fuck kids. You know what I mean? Like, be a good person. Fuck. It just seems like there's so many bands that don't know how to do that.
I hope so. I hope so.
Right, but here we go. Fucking every week, some metalcore band, deathcore band, like whatever. It's like, I hate when I see that, because it makes the whole genre look bad. You know,
it really does. So what else is that helps move bands forward that are looking to, you know, again, take that next step?
I think it really boils down to two things. One, is your product good? Like, and not like, do you like your songs that you write? You should like your songs you write, but like actually having like feedback of people you respect. Is someone saying, oh yeah, man, your songs are cool? Or is someone being like,
no. I mean like physically. Like, so I understand
okay,
what you're saying.
gotcha.
Yes, 100%. People should not be an asshole, have good music and stuff like that. But like, as a whole, like moving forward as a band, like, what like, is it money? Is it playlisting? Is it touring? Is it festivals? Is it like, that's kind of like, I'm trying to figure out what like a brand like Roadhounds can offer to help to facilitate offering things to bands that we can, like, if we can find like a Roadhouse Spotify playlist that we can potentially facilitate with 2 million monthly listeners that we put those bands on. So like things like that. Like, are you guys more focused on touring, money, playlisting, fucking fingering people?
Bro, I'll be real with you. If it was literally, if we're talking about us, all money, because I know how to do all the rest of those things, and the blockade is money. If you don't know how to do those things, then yeah, you probably need some help with that.
How would you use that? If I handed you $10,000 right now, what would you do? I'm not handing you $10,000 right now.
Right. Well, yeah, for sure.
Maybe in the future.
Right. So first of all, actually being able to put that into marketing properly, not just with like Meta Business Manager with Facebook and Instagram, but actually doing like influencer marketing as well, and just getting the word out there. You already know your songs like good from feedback, so just getting the word out there to as many people as possible to hear it that you genuinely think would like it. So like finding your target demographic. So we would target people with that kind of money. We could then also use that money to start on merch. We could get a shit ton of merch, like to start out.
That's a good one.
And then once that merch starts selling, it starts paying back for itself. Well, now we can get a double bundle with all the merch money we just made. We start quadrupling it on top of each other. And then like, I don't know, I wish I didn't have the same tech wear jacket because I'm poor.
How about you other guys? What do you think is something that you guys can utilize going forward?
So with money to the side, I think publicity, rather it being putting bands like us on festivals. So like I was at Louder Than Life, and I seen a band there that was their very first show ever. And they told me about it, and I was like, that's crazy. I was like, how the hell did y'all do that? And he was like, well,
Deadwater Band?
I forget the name of the band. They were out of Texas. They were kind of like a pop punk band.
Or
and he told me that Danny Wimmer pretty much the guys at Danny Wimmer and Roadhouse got a hold of one of their music videos and seen it and was like, oh, these guys are awesome. Let's put us on a show. Well, for their first show, yeah, they played to like 200, 300 people, which is awesome numbers, but they put them in a position to where potentially 180,000 people could have seen them. And that to me goes a really long way, because I've seen so many people go up like, man, y'all are awesome. We've never heard of y'all before, never seen y'all before. What's the name of your band again? And they go straight to social media and hit follow.
So getting in front of people is seems like a very uniform thing. How about you?
You know, I mean, I agree with what both of they said, and but my thing is also like putting together good fests and good shows, and getting people in the door when it comes to touring. You know, possibly with bigger bands. I mean, you know, because you know, you get to like the scene right now. It's like you got to know someone to know someone to know someone to know someone to get on a really good show. Unless you know that's happening, you know, you're just playing local shows, which is cool. But, you know, it's like getting your kind of foot in the door with people who like can actually get you on those big tours and get you on those big fests. You know, if like someone was actually putting those together and going, you know what, like I like this local band, let's put them on here, you know, and instead of just being like, okay, we're just going to put like 6 big bands on here and just call it a day, you know, that everyone already knows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're helping bands get out there with their name out there to people who are like to their fans who come to see them play live, you know, like Motionless or.
Yeah, we did the same vibe. We started local and just kept what we used to do is we used to book. What we used to do is it's a little more difficult now, but we used to get a giant map, again, aging myself. And we used to draw which way we wanted to go down. We would draw down to Florida and back. And we would call every venue on each thing and find out what shows they had, like whether it was Devil Wears Prada, Enter Shikari, any bands, Heavy Low, like all of these bands that are on the up and up. And we're like, hey, can we open your show? We don't want any money, just let us sell merch. And we literally would do that DIY, and we would throw a local show at home to be able to fund it. So we'd take the money from that, and then we would tour down and back. And we did that for years and years and years. And I know how difficult that is. And it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder. to be able to break bands. So again, I think you guys are wonderful. I think you're a great band. I think us over at Roadhounds are going to, when we figure out the formula of how to, you know, take bands under our wing and push them forward, I think you guys are going to be one of those bands. The Roadhounds
Thank
guys
you.
they don't shut up about you guys, which is great.
Tell them we appreciate it.
Yeah, much love from the boys in
That,
Spliced.
that warms my
Yes.
heart. Dude.
So I think you guys have a very bright future as long as you're keeping that passionate head on your shoulders, which you guys are doing, and getting along with each other, which is very important. You know, it's
not one of the most
a lot of
important
tough roads up ahead where you're going to want to fucking rip each other's heads off, but it's all for the greater good of creating music.
Yes,
Absolutely.
100%.
So I appreciate you gentlemen for taking the time out on a whatever day of the week it is.
It is one of the days.
Wednesday. So I appreciate y'all, and I think we're gonna have a great relationship together with Spliced and Roadhounds for sure.
I think so as well. I'm looking forward to it,
Yeah,
man.
we are much looking forward to a relationship with you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Josh Balls just here telling you that I have a new show coming out. It's going to be called Headbangers Havoc, and it's going to be on Roadhounds. And you can find it there. What we're going to do is we're going to give away a ton of shit all day, every day. We're going to go live. We're going to do pre-tape interviews. Basically, what we want to do is when you're hanging out at a festival, you only get 4 days with your friends. It's terrible. What we're going to do is we're going to bring that vibe to you 365 days a year, and it's going to be incredible. Not only for bands, but anybody that enjoys bands. So make sure you come check it out. Roadhounds.io. I'll catch you there. Make sure you subscribe.